Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting of April 1st, 2020, regular meeting to order at this time. First item on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance, and a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on our agenda is Mr. Ralph Rinaldi has notified me that due to current state of emergency, he will be unable to attend the April 1st, 2020 meeting in person, but desires to participate electronically from his Warren County residence. School board policy, BDD, allows members to participate in a meeting from a remote location through electronic communication means before the day of the meeting. A member of the school board notifies the chair that such member is unable to attend the meeting due to a temporary or permanent disability or other medical condition that prevents the member's physical attendance, or that such member is unable to attend the meeting due to a personal matter and identifies with specifically the nature of the personal matter, and the school board approves the member's participation by the majority vote of the members present at the primary or central meeting location. Participation by a school board member by electronic communication means due to a personal matter is limited to each calendar year to 2 meetings. Mr. Rinaldi has participated in a previous meeting and is therefore eligible to participate remotely in this meeting contingent upon board approval. Do I have a motion?
I move that Mr. Rinaldi be approved to participate in the April 1st, 2020 school board meeting through electronic communication means from a remote location, his Warren County residence.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Accept or modify the agenda. Welcome, Mr. Rinaldi.
Say again?
Okay, you can hear us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Accept or modify the agenda.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Community participation. Community participation is the time intended for the public to give input on relevant school issues and not intended to be a question and answer period, as this may be the first time the board has heard the information. Please do not expect individual responses or comments by the board at this time, but be assured that any concerns will be reviewed. Please print your name on the sheet at the podium, state your name, address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. With that said, Mr. Ballantyne had sent out an email notification trying to notify anyone that would like to speak tonight that the meeting will be closed so we could cover the 10 persons in a room. He has not received any emails, but if any do come in, we will address them. Thank you. Consent agenda.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Reports. Superintendent.
Thank you. My report for tonight is rather lengthy, so please hang in there with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Virginia Department of Education's mathematics team recognized Justin Maffei for his efforts in planning and executing the 2019 Deeper Learning Mathematics Institute. Our teachers and principals have been working very hard to ensure the continuity of instruction. Where we can, we are providing virtual instruction, and for those students without internet connectivity, we are providing packets of learning materials. Our teachers have office hours each weekday in the morning and in the afternoon, and our teachers are working from home. Students or families can communicate with our teachers virtually through email or Google Classroom or phone if they have questions. Our teachers are reaching out to their students regularly via email or telephone. We are starting to plan for a comprehensive summer school program. At this time, we are not sure when or if we will be able to resume normal operations, but we are hopeful we will be able to have a robust summer school in July to provide direct instruction to our students so that they will be prepared for school to start in August. We also have not lost sight of the activities that are important to our seniors that create lifetime memories like prom and graduation. We plan on honoring our seniors, but at this time, with the current information that is available, it's too early to predict whenever that will happen. As soon as we are able, we will start planning the graduation ceremony and culminating events for our high school seniors. There have been some questions regarding the modular units at A.S. Rhodes Elementary School. The modular units were ordered at the end of February prior to the school closure. 2 of the modular units were delivered prior to the school closure. The cost of delivery and setup was a large portion of the cost, which was $61,446, and removal was $21,580. The monthly cost to lease is $3,200 per month. We are hoping to be able to use the modular units in July for summer school, and the modular units will also be used August through October and possibly November. Remember, in March, we added the HVAC purchase and installation to LCW's contract so that the completion is going to be closer to October or November for our project at A.S. Rhodes Elementary School. And it would cost more to remove the modular units and reinstall them than the monthly lease that we're paying. Last week, our feeding program served almost 2,100 meals. We have modified the schedule this week. We will be delivering meals on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday and Wednesday, we will deliver breakfast and lunch for 2 days, and on Friday, we will deliver breakfast and lunch for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We just received permission from the Virginia Department of Education that the student does not have to be present for the food pickup. That is new information. The parent will need to provide their children's name, but the children will not have to be present for pickup. On Monday, we served 804 meals at E. Wilson Morrison Elementary School, 276 via the food service van, and 636 meals from our buses, for a total of 1,716 meals. Today, we served 3,582 meals to 597 students. We served 1,088 meals at E. Wilson Morrison, 332 meals from the food service van, and 968 meals from our buses. Remember, we are serving breakfast and lunch for 2 days. And I really have to give a shout out to our food service department and our transportation department. They have done a phenomenal job with making sure that our students are fed. And then I just also wanted to bring to your attention that in an effort to save money, we have adjusted our heating and cooling schedules to conserve energy due to the school closure. So there are other areas in which we are saving money in the budget as well, which includes fuel and substitute cost. And there are additional ones that I could list if you needed that information. So be happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have anything? Ms. Shepherd?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Rinaldi, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank Mr. Grant for walking me through the virtual meeting here. He had a lot of patience with me. It wasn't as hard as I thought. Also, we have placed the schedule for distribution by the school buses on the POSF website and on our Facebook site. Hopefully that'll get the word out to some people. And I would also like to thank my fellow board members for going along with this virtual meeting. Thank you very much. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Rinaldi. Go ahead. Ms. Bauer. I drew a big
Laughing.
blank.
I know that happens. That happens as
I'm
you get
sorry.
older. That happens as you get older.
Yes, it does.
After our last work session meeting, we all had the opportunity to be judges at the Future Chefs competition, and that was just so much fun. The kids, all of them, did a fantastic job. It was really hard to choose a winner, and I just want to say congratulations to them all. This past Friday and Monday, I had the opportunity to ride on one of the school buses delivering foods to the children, and that was very interesting. The kids and the parents were very appreciative. Some of the children were outside playing when we pulled up, and they ran and got their parent, and they came over. The kids were super sweet and very engaging, and I had the opportunity to really get to know the school bus driver and the aide and the cafeteria aides, and had a great time. So just get the word out there to all the children that we're going to take care of them and see them through this. And I think that's all I have. I also just want to say, I know we're going through some really difficult times, and get outside, walk around your yard, walk up and down the streets or whatever you have to do, because this social distancing is not easy. I'm a person who likes to be around other people. I like to hug people, and it's tough.
It is tough.
So.
It is.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bauer. Dr. Pence.
I'd just like to say thank you, Ms. Shepherd, for keeping us all informed, and really all of the teachers that are working so hard to try to stay in touch with our students and the food services. I've been seeing all the pictures of kids posting and families being thankful for their meals that are being delivered and handed out. So I think even in this difficult time, it seems like our community is pulling through like always for all the students. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Pence. Mr. Wells.
I, again, echo everybody who has had anything to do with the meals program, transportation, those folks stepping forward to do that, and food service, taking care and staying abreast of the changes so that we can reach out to more students, and being innovative as far as so that we can provide a meal just about every day in one way or another. I would also, on behalf of Valley Health System and all the first responders and folks like that, like to thank the school system for being way out in front of so many of the other counties as far as providing child care. The employees and the physicians who are utilizing it beginning tomorrow are extremely appreciative. They were just blown away that it was even available and possible for them. Some of them were really scrambling to try to find what were they going to do for child care and for that long and that type of thing. So it's really appreciated by the folks who are going to see some advantage of it. And I just wanted to take a quick second. We usually don't point out the personnel list, but we've got 3 folks that we're losing this year, Charlie Dodge, Richard Follett, and Roger C. Miller. And that's a lot of years of Warren County instruction that we'll be losing this year. And I want to thank all 3 of them for everything that they've done. Charlie in particular I think has done a little bit of everything except maybe be superintendent, and maybe he'll get a chance to do that one of these days. But they're 3 excellent examples of long-term Warren County employees.
Thank you, Thank you, Mr. Wells. The hard part is going last, because you guys I cannot top. Everything you've spoken about sums up Warren County. The school system striving hard to take care of the teachers, the children. It's just, from the people driving the buses to the cafeteria workers. It's really nice to see. And Ms. Bauer riding on the school bus to help out. I had an old coach one time. He said, when things get tough, the tough get going. And you all have proved that to me. I mean, bottom line, our community will pull out of this and we'll be fine. And I know it's tough, because I agree with Ms. Bauer. You want to meet people and talk to people, but you got to keep your distance, and it does make it tough. But I think if we do what we need to do for the next few weeks, hopefully, we can move on and get back to our regular routine. Ms. Shepherd, the interim superintendent, quote unquote, I don't know when the lady sleeps, because I get emails at 5 a.m. in the morning and, at 10 o'clock at night. So And I know everybody else is doing the same thing to make sure the system is taken care of, and I do greatly appreciate it. And Mr. Wells brought up the daycare. That is phenomenal. I've had a few people from the town go, did you see that we can have daycare, for our children? And it meant a lot to them. I mean, it really did. So it's really nice. It's the little things that stand out, and you might not be told about it, but people are appreciative about it. So all I can say is keep your heads up, do the right thing, and we'll all be fine. Moving on, action agenda. Approval of K through 5 English textbooks, adoption and purchase. Ms. Rudisil.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The state's textbook adoption process follows a 7-year cycle, and this is the year in which school divisions are required to adopt English textbooks. Based on review of and feedback from kindergarten through 5th grade teachers, school literacy coaches, and instructional resource team members, we are recommending that the division adopt the Into Reading series published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt for kindergarten through 5th grades for use beginning with the 2020-2021 school year. Contingent upon the availability of funds, we are requesting approval to purchase the adopted English textbooks for kindergarten through 5th grades at a cost of $462,094.92. Any questions?
Questions, comments? How long has it been since we adopted?
Elementary is not quite as long as some
Okay.
other contents and grade levels. It has been 8 years since we had a new reading textbook. One of the reasons we prioritized elementary, there were 2 reasons. One of the primary reasons, the text that we use in kindergarten and 1st grades right now cost us about $20,000 per year in consumable materials. So we'd like to get away from that series and into a series where all of the materials that our students would use are included in the 7-year contract. The other reason being 2nd through 5th grade are in a different reading series. So our goal was to have the same series, kindergarten through 5th grade, and again, to get away from that recurring cost that we have with kindergarten and 1st grade right now.
Yeah, this is the hardbound book plus the online part of it, all combined.
Yes. And actually, the companies are going to textbooks now. The actual reading textbook for several of the grade levels is a book that they get. So it's their book, and at the end of the school year, they take that book home with them. So it isn't the hardbound like the upper grade level textbooks are. And that's a new thing, so that kids, they know that so many children do not have reading material at home. So this, at the end of the year, will be a book that they are able to take with them.
Okay, that's good.
But this does include what we get in print and then the digital, what we have online. And what we've done, because we're outside of that 7-year contract right now, a lot of publishing companies are smart. And so what we had hoped to do was we have the textbooks that we use, and if we would just be able to continue our license for the digital material. Well, they don't make it that easy. So it is, a couple of things happen. It costs as much they make it so that it costs as much to purchase the digital materials as it does to readopt a new textbook, or they don't support the digital material that our teachers are using doesn't exactly match the textbook that we have because the company wants you to adopt and purchase the new textbook.
So they got you one way or the other.
They do.
Well, it's time, I believe.
Mr. Williams,
Yep.
some of our textbooks are up to 20 years old.
Oh,
So
yes.
like our
Yes.
calculus and foreign language, I believe.
Foreign language, and I think we talked about this at one of
I-
the budget meetings, talk about things like cassette tapes and VHS recorders and things that are, so you have to have a English vocabulary lesson before you can have a foreign language vocabulary lesson with some of the textbooks we currently have.
I believe both of you all addressed that at one of our work sessions, that 20 years on calculus, I believe.
Oh, it's,
I
yeah.
believe, so, yeah, we need to we need to move forward. Any questions, comments? Do I have a motion?
I move that Warren County Public Schools adopt and contingent upon available funds purchase the Into Reading series published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt for kindergarten through fifth grade English to be used beginning with the 2020-2021 school year.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. No, approval of Unified Talent Applicant Tracking Records and School Spring Job Board HR Programs. Can't read. Mr. Smith.
Thank you. Good evening. In order to better serve our employees and future candidates, along with providing more modern and efficient services, Warren County Public Schools HR Department is seeking approval to purchase a license and subscription system to streamline the applicant tracking, onboarding of new employees, and record retention. In addition, providing a new platform with School Spring Job Board for online recruiting. Our current system consists of Excel spreadsheets, manual forms, et cetera, and does not lend itself to an efficient process. The summary of the platform of the parts of this system that we would be requesting a license for. First, I put down the online recruiting. It's School Spring Job Board. It identifies itself as very similar to like a Monster.com or an Indeed, but it's mainly for education. So job postings, we would create those. We would they would automatically go on to the School Spring. So when job seekers Google jobs in our area, then hopefully we'll be that first person or that first business to come up. In addition to the free postings, we'll also have access to the candidate database that's currently about 800,000 applicant profiles of various different type of jobs. The applicant tracking will basically be able to manage all our recruiting, hiring, and communication between all staff and applicants in one simple step. We'll be able to accept applications, communications in bulk with hiring managers or our principals, and applicants will be able to schedule interviews through this process as well as submit hiring requests and so forth. Also, with our records part is another part we'd like to add to this, and obviously this takes away so much of the paperwork and just makes it electronic. It reduces our paperwork. It streamlines the process. It helps with onboarding and record keeping and retention. There's new hire checklist. Also, the one huge thing of this is that we could go with contracts that are not manually done and the way we currently do them, but these would be electronic contracts, letters of intent. FMLA is family medical leave, exit checklist, year-round compliance and training. So things that we would need to go out to staff. Each staff, we would create an account. And within their account, there could be different type of forms or files or something that they need to do. And that we, through the system, could be able to say, please go check your account, and it might be bloodborne pathogen type stuff. Hey, it's your time to do that, those type of things. Or you have a form in there that you need to complete for HR department on whatever it may be, benefits and those type of things. Currently, everything is done manually. There is a way today, and I think this would be very helpful as well, is that when we have a contract, we can do an approval tree, very similar to how we do our board docs. And if that needs a signature by the board chair or the superintendent or Mr. Ballantyne, that we can run that through that and electronically sign rather than having people come in place to place to place to do that. The cost and financing of this, it's $26,100. It covers the initial purchasing and licensing, setup and training. In future years, the subscription fee would be $18,000. Pricing with this contract is from a cooperative purchasing agreement with interlocal purchasing system, and it meets Virginia and Warren County Public Schools procurement requirements. The funding itself would come from our staff turnover, and I had Mr. Ballantyne also read through the cooperative purchasing agreement just to have a more expert set of eyes on the finances. What questions may you have that I could help answer?
With regard to anything that can be put on, do we have the ability to put anything we want? Say, one thing comes to mind is some of the aides and things like that have to learn proficiency or have to show that they're able to do an EpiPen or that they're able to do an insulin shot. We can hang that on there. We can do any type of in-service that we want, so that we've got sort of a, for lack of a better word, we've got a transcript of everything.
Right, a portfolio transcript, yes. You can assign different tasks that would be things similar to the EpiPens. You could assign the task, as I mentioned earlier, of the bloodborne pathogens. We could assign perhaps maybe even the situation that we're currently going through together with the virus. You may assign some type of just 20-minute video where you can say, and they'll get an email, please go to your box. Doctors do this a lot. I just got one today from a doctor's visit that I had to say, hey, sign off on this and those type of things. And that was really neat because I could do it at my own time. I could do that real quick, and I didn't have to receive a phone call or get back to someone or those type of things. So to answer your question, yes, that's also what part of this does. So it sets up an account for each of the employees. And you'll get a reminder email for those who may not have got it on the first try.
Okay, that's good.
Have you spoken to anyone else who is using this program in
Yes.
another school system?
There's, in our area, Page uses, this used to be something called Talent Ed. Same platform per se, different company. Winchester uses the entire program. Page uses the applicant tracking and records. Shenandoah also uses those two initial applicant and tracking records, and they're happy with it. It in itself just helps organize. It just helps organize everything. Currently, when we get applications, they come in. I take those, I review through those, I then send those to the hiring personnel. I then email back the people who applied with the next steps they need to do. One of our issues is that when people need to go in and add to their application or change or update something on their application, they just finished a certain requirement or certification. It doesn't allow for you to do that. Once you submit it, you submit it. So this way, the applicants themselves can create their own account where they can start to add to that. And those applications, when they come in, they'll be assigned to a position. Let's say you have an English position that's open at one of your schools, where your principal of that particular school will also be able to access all the applications that have come in. But it'll be all in front of them in one place. Currently, I'm sending those things as they come in. And I know that the principals do this because they do an excellent job of getting people hired. I'm sure they keep a little file on the side of their computer where they drop the applications in. But those supporting documents don't always come in at the same time. So then I'm sending you another email, and you kind of have to put those together. It becomes so time-consuming that it's hard to do some of those type of things. There are systems such as this that can take that part away, where you can just truly concentrate on the quality of the individual that sits before you and whether you want to hire that particular person over another person.
Sounds good.
So the training, the support for the 26-1, they'll train everybody in your office, how it operates.
Correct.
And they'll support, whether it's updates or whatever, they'll they'll
Correct.
force it to us. I mean, it definitely sounds to me as an ease of doing business for our HR department and for applicants and current employees. I mean, you know, if they are missing bloodborne pathogens, time you email it and it gets lost in a big pile of emails, and this way, at least it will update going, hey, you didn't do it. So I believe it's probably well worth the money and past due of moving to something electronic to manage our system. Any other questions? Have a motion?
Yes. I move that the Warren County School Board approves purchasing the license and subscription of United Talents applicant tracking, records, and school spring job board system, which includes training and setup fees in the amount of $26,100.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. First reading, February 2020 VSBA School Board Policy Updates. Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. In February 2020, VSBA submitted 34 policies for consideration by the Warren County School Board. A chart showing all of the updated policies has been prepared by staff members, noting the proposed changes. An additional 13 policies were presented for review but have no recommended revisions. As this is the first reading of the proposed changes, there will be an opportunity to discuss the changes at the April 15th work session. Final approval of the changes is scheduled for the May 6th meeting. Most of the changes in the policies relate to cross-references and legal code changes. So not a whole lot of meat in the changes in the policy changes this time. But be happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Anybody have anything? It did, I mean, it was a lot of reading because it's 34, but it was just cross-referenced as you mentioned, so just finish reading, get our homework done. Thank you very much, Ms. Shepherd. Approval of emergency child care program, Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. Mr. Wells mentioned this a little earlier. As part of the governor's order to close all public and private schools, daycares were asked to prioritize services for children of essential personnel. While the governor is asking all families to keep their children at home if possible, he simultaneously called on communities to provide emergency child care to young and school-aged children of essential personnel during this unprecedented pandemic. Warren County Public Schools, in collaboration with the Warren County School-Aged Child Care Program, are prepared to offer child care for essential employees, essential personnel. Warren County Public Schools will open an emergency child care program for potty-trained children ages 3 to 12 on Thursday, April 2nd for Warren County's essential personnel. Essential personnel are first responders, healthcare workers, and others who help maintain the health, safety, and welfare of Warren County residents. The child care program will begin on April the 2nd and will operate Monday through Friday from 5:45 a.m. to 6:15 p.m. at Heidelbarber Elementary School. Registration was held Monday, March the 30th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Heidelbarber Elementary School. There will be no charge for this program, however, space is limited. We opened the registration on Monday, and we received 27 applications. Wow. That's what we're able to fill at this time. We are planning on opening registration again and opening an additional program at Leslie Fox Kaiser Elementary School. We're looking for staff at this time to staff that program.
And it's one staff member to 9 children?
It is one staff member to 8 children for younger kids, but then 1 to 9 for the older children, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and there are very strict guidelines of how they have to clean and provide care for these children.
And meals are provided?
Meals will be provided, absolutely. Breakfast and lunch, yes.
Okay, good.
So,
Ms. Shepherd, you, and then advertising for that for the next round of registrations if it goes through for
yes, we
LFK?
will. Yes, absolutely.
Does that include private doctor's offices as
It
well?
does,
Okay.
absolutely. If you want to know the breakdown of the 27 children, there are 16 in healthcare that have parents who work in healthcare. 3 are town employees, 6 are sheriff office employees, 5 are our grocery store employees, and then 2 are healthcare / sheriff. So a parent works for one and a parent works at.
Okay.
for the others.
Well, it looks like it's put together very well. I mean, the hours, 5:45 a.m. to 6:15, that's really, really nice because a lot of people have to be at work really early and don't get home till later. So, I mean, my hat's off to the way it was put together, and I greatly appreciate it. And I know the people that their children are attending greatly appreciate it. So, thank you.
So, one other thing I missed, a school nurse will be on site daily,
Oh.
so.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Anything else for Ms. Shepherd on that?
I just think it's a great asset to our community
It is. It really is.
during these hard times. And
Mr. Rinaldi?
Well, I think it's the perception is going to be fine. It's another thing that Warren County Public Schools have done to support this community. And compared to other groups in the county, I think we're at the top of the list for that sort of thing. So thank you, Ms. Shepherd, for following up on that. And also, thank you for your leadership during this crisis that we're in.
Thank you, Mr. Rinaldi.
You're welcome.
All right. Discussion of paid school,
do we need a motion on that?
we do need a motion on that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We have a motion on the
Chairman,
child
I
care.
move approval be given for Warren County Public Schools in collaboration with Warren County School Age Care to operate an emergency child care program for Warren County's essential personnel starting Thursday, April 2nd, 2020, from 5:45 a.m. until 6:15 p.m.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to discussion of paid school meal prices for 2020-2021. Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. The recommendation for approval for this agenda item will be at our next meeting, but just wanted to put this out there in case you had any questions. The Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010 requires school divisions participating in the National School Lunch Program to ensure sufficient funds are provided to account for meals served to students not eligible for free or reduced price meals. Schools charging less than an average of $3.09 for paid lunches are required to adjust full meal price to cover the difference. Warren County Public Schools' current lunch price for elementary students is $2.10, $2.20 for middle and high school students. Based on the food service fund balance and the increased cost of food, we recommend increasing lunch prices by 10 cents for elementary, middle, and high school students. The recommended new lunch prices for the 2020-2021 school year would be $2.20 for elementary students and $2.30 for middle and high school students. The recommendation is to increase the breakfast price by 10 cents to $1.35. This will be the first time the breakfast price has increased since the 2014-15 school year. E. Wilson Morrison Elementary School will continue to be a community eligibility program. There will be no charge for breakfast or lunch at E. Wilson Morrison for the 2020-2021 school year. And if you look, there is an attachment of our meal prices compared to
Yes.
other meal prices surrounding us. And our breakfast price is in line, is one of the lowest in our surrounding areas, and our lunch is as well. I think Page County is a little lower than us at elementary and middle, but then they are a little higher at the high school level. Be happy to answer any questions, but recommendation for approval will be at the next school board meeting.
Just with regard to E. Wilson, is there a possibility that any of the other schools will qualify for the coming year?
There's a possibility for Russie Jeffries Elementary School to qualify. We have not received the criteria for qualification at this point. As soon as we get that, we would love for Russie Jeffries to qualify as well.
Anything else for Ms. Shepherd on the meals? All right. 2020 VSB Honor Roll, Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. Local businesses have the opportunity to shape community attitudes about public schools, and the VSBA Business Honor Roll is a way for our local school division to recognize local businesses for their support especially at schools facing increased budget uncertainty. The Business Honor Roll helps divisions say thank you for their vital contributions. The VSBA Business Honor Roll was an initiative of past VSBA President and former Warren County School Board member Roy K. Boyles. This year's recipients are Cargill Turkey Products Farms, Front Royal Warren County Ministerial Association, and Torrey Plastics Incorporated. Their names will be submitted to the Virginia School Board Association for inclusion on this year's statewide honor roll. The recipients will then be recognized at the May 6, 2020 Warren County School Board meeting, hopefully.
I was gonna say, can we move that if need be? Because it would really be nice to recognize them in person
I think we can recognize them anytime.
Yeah, but maybe do it on the 6th, but if we're not allowed public at that time, have it set at a later date.
Say it at the next meeting where public
Okay,
is allowed to gather and see it.
all right. Anything else from Ms. Shepherd on that? Need a motion.
I move the 3 resolutions recognizing Cargill Turkey Products Farms, Front Royal Warren County Ministerial Association, and Torrey Plastics Incorporated as the 2020 Business Honor Roll recipients be adopted as presented.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Correction to the fiscal year 2020 county appropriation and adjustments to fiscal 2021 proposed increase in county appropriations. Ms. Shepherd.
Thank you. In conversations with the county, it was learned that the current year county appropriations to Warren County Public Schools is actually $246,492 less than that which was approved Warren County fiscal year 2020 budget, sorry about that. This is the amount of savings that schools realized when groundskeeping responsibilities were transferred from the school to the county. At the time the fiscal year 2020 budget was approved, it was communicated to the schools by the county that even though this cost savings, $246,492, was being realized by the schools, county funding would not be reduced by this amount. However, the county has since realized that this understanding was not reflected in the official county budget that was adopted in April 2019. Therefore, county funding will be $246,492 less than the amount which the fiscal year 2020 budget was built. However, because of staff turnover savings as well as savings from reduced school operations, the final 4 months of the school year due to the pandemic emergency, the budget will be able to handle this revenue adjustment. This also affects the fiscal year 2021 proposed budget. While the total amount of the requested county appropriation remains the same, the amount of the increase in the county appropriation is $246,492 more than previously calculated. The revised increase in the county appropriation is $513,692, or 1.9%. This compares to the original request that was $267,200, or 1%. Mr. Ballantyne or I will be happy to answer any questions.
So all we're gonna do is ask for the increase for the fiscal budget coming up this April.
That's correct.
We're gonna eat the 246 from the year we're currently in.
That's correct.
We have no choice, really. And the total amount of the appropriation you're asking for next year's budget remains the same. It's just that the base that it was built upon, the increase on the county side, is this amount less. So that means instead of basically asking for a 1% increase in the county appropriation, it in actuality is a 1.9% increase. So the county is aware of this, and of course they brought it to our attention, so.
But, I'm sorry, but it's only 1.9 simply because the 246 was never put into calculation.
Was not included.
Right.
Even though we were led to believe it was
We thought
included
it
in this
was.
year's.
Right.
it wasn't, so when we looked at the increase between this year and next year, this year's amount's less, so that means the increase is more by that amount.
Okay. All right, thank you. Anything else on that? All right. Nothing further. We have discussion by the school board, VSBA School Law Conference, Friday, June 5th, 2020 at Short Pump Hilton. Anyone interested? Contact Mr. Bell.
My guess is, although I haven't heard officially, that it will not be in Short Pump, but it'll be by, via live stream or some other electronic means. I doubt that they will be meeting there, but
I doubt it too, but you never know.
you never know.
Be positive.
Yeah, we're gonna be positive and hope that they do.
But that would be
Yeah.
good if they do it, streaming it.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be more inclined to
More
attend to
people,
more of these.
more people would attend.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, anything else before this board? Meeting adjourned.